Hey there, Scorpio. So this is the start of your 2-week forecast, taking you from the new moon in Gemini right the way through to the full moon in Sagittarius on the 11th of June. Now, this is quite an interesting period in time. In fact, I'm just going to bring up my slide to kind of demonstrate that and this is the thumbnail for my overview of this time for all signs, which is probably worth watching if you're curious and if you want to hear about the Sabian symbols and this, that, and the other. But the new moon in particular has 5 planets in the air signs. And as we're coming to the full moon in Sagittarius, the air is kind of disappearing before our very eyes. And we're going into a very fiery time indeed, where we're really being urged to take action, to really take action on what we've learnt. And so what I want to do in this short forecast is pace you through all the planetary predicaments and help you see what actions you might choose to take, give you some options on how you might choose to use this energy so that you don't feel trapped in. And in fact, that you can feel inspired to take action about something that really you would like to change in your life. So there you go. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name's Louisa Tanner-Munson. Welcome. And if you've come back here once again, thank you so much for your support. Talking of support, before I get going, let me just say thank you to everybody historically and right now that has supported my channel. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Some of you are members of my membership on School as well. So I really appreciate your support because you're helping me to grow this in a way that I get to do what I really love to do. And I'm very grateful for that. Thank you. So anyway, the 2 charts I'm going to be looking at are the new moon in Gemini. This is the chart. You'll see it's very precise looking. It's got these lovely, beautiful trines showing a lot of ease and a lot of flow where things are just going very easily. And then also this a series of sextiles, and the sextiles I see as the sort of workers, the worker bees. They are building the little steps to help you make changes. And so I really see that a lot of this air energy here, all of it here and here, the thoughts, the ideas, the inspirations are coming in. So yeah, quite exciting. If you watch, the moon is going to go all the way around here, and 2 weeks later you'll find it in the sign of Sagittarius at 20 degrees at the time of the full moon. So what does it mean to have the new moon activated in your 8th house and the full moon activating in your 2nd house? I guess that is the thing to focus on and understand. So anyway, this is the full moon chart. And as you can see, it looks very different to the new moon. It's got a series of different patterns, or you could say themes. One of these themes is this lovely grand trine between the moon, Chiron, and also Mars. Now, Chiron and Mars are in a beautiful trine throughout this whole period, and also Venus is as well. And so Mars is a really spectacular player in this fortnight ahead. And obviously Mars and Pluto are the rulers of Scorpio. So Mars is taking center stage. He is in the 10th house. He's in the top spot of your chart, the top spot. This is about your career, how you stand in the world. What do you see as your legacy, and how much energy have you got to go out and get it? I would say with Mars in these beautiful trines to Venus in the 6th and also Chiron in the 6th, is just showing you where your patience and persistence and your kind efforts have really done you a solid. It's now giving you, like, from that sense of possibly a collaborative way of working. The way you're able to work has enabled you to take on more responsibility and to have a much greater sense of self-confidence and motivation for your future. So this is great. This is really fantastic. I think it's a long time coming. I think the opposition between Mars and Pluto that was taking place really throughout October right through to April, I think it knocked your confidence. I think it held you back, and now you're chomping at the bit to go. And Mars is going to stay in this 10th house for the next 2 weeks, definitely. So this is something to enjoy and to maybe examine. Now, I also do notice that there is a square between Mars and Uranus. And, this is really showing I think it's important just to have a little bit of caution. Obviously, Scorpios don't tend to work with too much caution. They tend to be very much about taking action. They observe what's going on, then they kind of dive right in. And the Pluto and the Mars really gives them a sense of willpower to get things done. But this square with Uranus, I would possibly wait until after this forecast period before you make a big move that could create massive waves of resistance. And I say that really purposefully because, Uranus is currently in your 7th house, and he will be going into your 8th house in July, and he does bring up a lot of resistance. His freewheeling ways, his desires for freedom, and his desires for expression can really create a lot of chaos in partnerships, and also in partnerships where there's shared assets. So before you make a big move that could really piss off one of your stakeholders or your partner, your partner in life, I would just give it a little, maybe 2 more weeks, maybe after the full moon in Sagittarius, before you make your full move. And that is just so that you're keeping and continuing to gather that pace. Venus and Chiron are really helping you to stay on top. And in fact, there's this lovely, lovely thing on the 1st of June. Venus is going to make an exact conjunction with Chiron. Also on that day, Mercury makes an exact conjunction with the Sun, known as a cazimi. And during this time, with the Venus Chiron conjunction and the Mercury cazimi, there's a moment to, I think, let go of any old resistance and harms that have come to you throughout your working career. In particular, where you've lost confidence and not felt like you were good enough, where you maybe got ill over working too much, maybe had a breakdown or something like that. To me, it really feels like your belief in yourself is coming back. This beautiful supportive set of trines is really, really helping you to stay really at a top spot. And Mercury, the cazimi in this 8th house, I think can give you a new perspective, a fresh and much needed perspective as to how you can move forwards with the people you share assets and share values with, let's say. So yeah, I would keep the Mars momentum going before you make that big change. Other news. So if I go forwards a little bit more, I really want to just focus on these 3 planets. Now, they're not your rulers. I mean, Venus, she does rule your 7th house. That's kind of important. Mercury is the ruler of your 8th house. And Jupiter is the ruler of your 2nd house. Now, Jupiter is about to change signs, and he's going to be changing signs from the sign of Gemini, where he's not happy, and actually where he's creating a little bit of trouble. And he's going to be coming into your 9th house, which is all about your expansion, all about this desire to learn and know more and to do more. It's really going to give you a sense of new reach. And leading up to it, Venus is moving into the 7th. To me, in fact, if I just move this across, this more accurately reflects where we're going to. Venus is going to come out of the 6th house and into the 7th, really showing that your relationships with your partner and any stakeholders within your business, or for instance, your boss, that these relationships are strengthening, which I think is important. Mercury is making a conjunction with Jupiter at the tail end of this 8th house. So I think everything to do with assets at work and also in life, anywhere where there's been some difficulty with people because you've got a different value system, maybe they've judged you, you've judged them back. Any of those kind of misconceptions can be cleared up. And then Mercury and Jupiter are coming into this place here, really aligned with your freedom. And so in terms of money, I think, the best way for you to earn more money is through embracing your freedom and embracing all of the Jupiter in Cancer qualities through your 9th house. So you might be thinking in terms of, what do I need to know right now? Like, what information do I need to do my job? What might be the next step in my job? Jupiter's focus is to open things out really far and wide, and to go as deep as possible. Especially with Mercury there, it really wouldn't surprise me if you're considering some kind of travel for context, or travel into a subject matter. Both Jupiter and Mercury can be very scholarly. So if there is an extra qualification or something that you need to do, now is the perfect time to do it. It really, truly is. Jupiter, I just think he's going to open up a lot of doorways. And as he does that, I really believe that your confidence in yourself is going to go sky high. So I think this is all helpful. Now, in recent times, Saturn has just gone into your 6th house. And this is an interesting move. Saturn is going to bring in a sense of discipline into your 6th house. He's definitely going to be helping you review how you organize your life. The combination of having Chiron, Neptune, and Saturn in your 6th house it's intense. It really is intense. And I know I've spoken about Saturn in Aries in my Saturn in Aries video, and it's obviously there's a Scorpio forecast there as well. And I just think these are such slow moving planets that I'll be talking a lot more about those. But one of the things you can see really coming up to this full moon in Sagittarius, and that is that Jupiter and Mercury, they do make a square to Saturn and Neptune as they are moving forwards. And so these are the two faster planets. These are both moving forwards at quite a lick in the sign of Cancer, really showing your desire to just keep learning, keep moving, keep going deeper. You might be getting a bit weirder. You might be going into a whole new terrain. You might even be traveling. I think that would be a wonderful thing to do as Jupiter goes into your 9th house. But there is a little bit of a hang up, and it just feels like everything to do with how you're organizing your life, your paperwork, your money, your health, and this, that, and the other. To me, whatever you're about to explore, I would do it patiently at first. And maybe I would actually wait until we're beyond the 16th of June. I mean, that's outside of this forecast time. But, Jupiter is making this very tight square with Saturn. And he will be moving beyond it from the 16th of June. And at that point, I think you'll be really starting to feel that freedom, that sense of freedom. So all in all, I've touched on quite a few things, but to me, it's been a lot more outward facing towards career and I guess how you're lifting yourself up in life. Now, if you do want to have a sort of deeper look, every time I do these readings, I also do a love forecast, a relationship and connection forecast, and also a money forecast, which I call my career and ambition forecasts. And so I offer these to members. So if you would like this kind of inquiry that I've just given you in your chart at a much deeper level, sort of focus towards love or focus towards your career, then you might be interested in what comes next. So I've got this membership that I hold on or host on School. So it's school.com. That's school with a K /Feel Good Astrology. You get 1 week's free trial, so you get to try it and see if it fits you. Obviously, I only really want people who want to be there. So you get 4 of these forecasts every month. So 2 at the time of the new moon, 2 at the time of the full moon. I also provide a 5-minute update for all of my members every day. I just post a video for the following day, and that's Monday to Friday. I do 2 group sessions, where we can all explore our charts together, and we talk about all sorts of different aspects of astrology. It's not exactly based at a beginner level, but it's definitely not at an advanced level. It's really about sharing our joy in astrology and noticing and sharing patterns together, which I really like. I'm available between these times. So I make myself available to my members. If you have a question, feel free to just bother me. It's absolutely fine. And, if you had been considering getting a consultation, I also offer 20% discount to everyone that's a member. So again, if that sounds of something, if that sounds like it's of interest to you and could help you as you're working your way through this kind of career spike, this opportunity for your career, then consider it. You can sign up for free. And if you do commit, then it's $22 a month. So anyway, Scorpio, these are really good times. I think you are getting back into your groove again after quite a long time of actually being quite off track. I think this groove is going to get stronger and stronger, by the way. I'm really quite excited. And I say that very biasly because my ascendant is in the sign of Scorpio. So wishing you a really good 2-week forecast period, and hopefully catch you again real soon. Lots of love. Bye for now.